to impress your invigilator, to the assessor who expects you to be man who is familiar with facts and figures of history. You are not going there as a storyteller. You are going to give the facts and figures of history. You are going to impress your reader with the facts and figures, with the minutest details, because you are dealing with a history paper, not with a journal paper where you go and tell a story like a kid. So aspirants, history is mystery, and if you are not able to unfold the mystery, you are not going to score anymore. So you have to unfold the mystery of history, and the way to unfolding that mystery is to give your facts and figures in a way like historians do. Hello viewers, welcome to Virtual Civil Services Academy by Z.A.Langah, and I will today be speaking on history. Selection of history paper for CSS, PCS, ICS or any other exams, and how to handle this paper for securing more marks. So aspirants, history is mystery, and if you are not able to unfold the mystery, you are not going to score anymore. So you have to unfold the mystery of history, and the way to unfolding that mystery is to give your facts and figures in a way like historians do. This is very important paper in optional papers, especially for the candidates who opt for history papers, must know how to handle history paper and history questions in order to secure maximum marks, secure maximum score, to get a secure position in respective groups. History is a very tricky paper, and it is important that you must know how to attempt this kind of paper. This is entirely different from current affairs and other papers. You are not there to attempt history paper like current affairs paper, like IR paper. You have to attempt this paper in a way like historians do. You have to come up with facts and figures. You have to insert, you have to jot down minute details of a particular question. Therefore, in order to attempt CSS paper, you must be fully familiar with the facts and the figures, and try to give those facts and figures in order to support your answer. Don't attempt history questions just like narrating a story or telling a story. No, not like that. You have to attempt like a story, but with the facts and figures. What is the way to secure more marks? Suppose you are asked that Akbar and not the Babur was the real founder of Mughal dynasty in India. Now this is a very tricky question, and in order to substantiate, you need not only the facts and figures, but you also need to complete information of administrative reforms, economic reforms, religious policy, foreign policy, domestic policy, each and everything. Divide your question in segments. You should see and juxtapose Akbar's religious policy with Babur's policy, Akbar's expansion versus Babur's expansion, Akbar's administration with Babur's administration, Akbar's conquest versus Babur's conquest, just to put each and every fact and minute details in a way that you are trying to portray a picture, not just telling a story. Because you are attempting a history paper, and history is about persons and events. And if you are just telling about certain event without mentioning minute details like what was the immediate causes of certain event, what were dates, what were main players there, what were their roles, what were their contribution in a certain event. These are basically very simple things, but some new candidates, some raw minds make major blunder that they go and attempt question in a way that just like they tell a story. History paper is different from telling a story. You have to give all the details. The more details you give, the maximum will be the score you achieve, because the examiner will assume that this guy knows when and where was Babur born, when did he lost in Fargana, when did he wage war in Kabul, why was he expelled, who were his opponents, and what were the ultimate reasons which brought him to India, Pakistan to conquer or to defeat Ibrahim Lodhi in Battle of Panipat. and who were his supporters, what were the tactics which brought about success of Babur versus Lodhis, and how did he defeat, in which battle, in which year did he defeat Rana Sangha of Mewar, and what were his opponents in battle of Chandri, and what were the heroes of those battles. You have to put all the facts and figures and names of places so that examiner knows that you have seen all the details of certain question. If you just tell a story that Babur went there from Fargana to Delhi and he defeated Ibrahim Lodi without much difficulty, and you don't give any facts and figures, you will pass the exam, but you will not secure enough marks. If you don't secure enough marks, it is going to be harmful for you in a long way, because you have to secure allocation, you have to cross aggregate, you have to beat your competitors. So the best way is that you must put your best foot forward, give the details. History is a mystery, and try to resolve this mystery by giving minutest details to impress your invigilator, to the assessor, who expects you to be man who is familiar with facts and figures of history. You are not going there as a storyteller. You are going to give the facts and figures of history. You are going to impress your reader with the facts and figures, with the minutest details, because you are dealing with a history paper, not with a journal paper where you go and tell a story like a kid. Don't spin stories. Be the man who is well aware about each and every fact of history. Give the figures and try to impress him with the facts and figures. So history is a very scoring subject. If you are opting civil services exams and you have opted history, it is important that you must prepare yourself well. So to prepare yourself well, you have to first select the books and try to go through them in details, extract the facts, jot down the notes, and keep revising them every day. You must know when and where was Babur born, what was his father's name, what was his grandfather's name, what was his mother's name, how he was connected to Timur and Mughal dynasty, and whether he was connected to Mughal dynasty from father's side or mother's side. You must know all these facts. You must know even the year. If you are going to describe the year of birth of Babur, you must know what was the day on which he was born, what was the date, and what was the year. Similarly, you must know when he fought battle of Panipat, battle of Khanwa, battle of Chandri, and what was their date, and what were the main reasons of his success in battle against his opponents. Similarly, if you are going to be asked who was the real founder of Mughal dynasty in India, you must be fully familiar with the facts of Akbar's rule and Babur's rule. Definitely Akbar spent a lot of time in India. Babur spent only 4 years in. You have to justify with the facts and figures. You don't say that Babur was the first person who came and established rule, so he is the real founder of Mughal dynasty in India. No doubt Babur was founder of Mughal dynasty in India, but it was Akbar who brought so many reforms in agriculture reforms, religious reforms, administrative reforms, his art, architecture, his support to all sects, his harmony, his peace, his fondness for art and literature. Each and everything you have to give in your answer. Don't, I am repeating that I am repeating once more that don't try to answer your question in a way of storytelling. Put more facts. If you put facts, you will get more marks. And this is fight for marks. This is fight for a score. You are fighting hundreds of thousands of candidates, and your stance should be clear, jam-packed with knowledge, information, facts, figures. Each thing should be detailed. Your each and everything should be concise, relevant. Don't try to just fill the pages and the answer sheet. Your focus should be to fill those pages with concrete knowledge, concrete information, and each and every detail should be correct. Don't write anything you are not sure of. You must even know what is the meaning of Zahir-Din Babar. What is meaning of Babar? Babar is a word of which language? If you put these facts, if you impress the reader, if you impress the assessor, you will definitely secure more marks. And these are the texts that you must know to secure more marks. I am sure you are going to follow these suggestions, because these suggestions are very helpful and are based on very vast experience. And if you don't follow these suggestions, you are going to suffer. Please note, if you are beginner, if you are new, if you have not been in touch with history, try to make your mind that you have to answer your questions in a way that you are going to give the facts and figures with detailed analysis, because these facts and figures count more than your storytelling. You are not going to attempt any question just to tell the story. No doubt a story has its own place, but it must be replete with facts and figures, with accurate information which is required to the examiner. Let him know that you are fully familiar with each and everything, each and every incident, each and every person, each and every moment that you went through during preparation of your history books. If you don't put these things, you may pass, you may have some score, but it may not be the fighting score. It may not be the score which is going to secure a good place for you in the final evaluation. So thank you very much, guys. I hope this humble effort of mine would help you. I believe that exams are happening very soon. You must be busy with your studies. Best of luck for your upcoming attempt. And if you are free, if you are viewing my channel, please go to YouTube and subscribe Virtual Civil Service Academy by Z.A.Langah, so that you may get notification of my upcoming videos, and you could also benefit if you have subscribed. If you are already a subscriber, please share links with your friends, with the eager aspirants who are also preparing for competitive exams anywhere in our region, so that they could also benefit from my talks. Thank you, take care, see you in next video. Thank you.